Hello, Jess Goodman with Steamboat Super Sharpeners. We've been doing some broadhead sharpening, and the last one we just went over was the Omega in 200 grain. And now we're going to get involved with the green head by Vantage Point Archery. And the green head is the premium tool steel, has a little bit different design. Kind of go over how and what I do to sharpen them. But we did the Omega. The Omega has kind of the dual bevel up front and single bevel on the rear. And then on the green head, we're a more traditional single bevel. And I actually like that flat tip on the front. Well-designed broadhead, really tough. So just going to do a little bit of Windex again, and we'll be doing this on the solo station like the Omega, but I like to pull my strap and those sticks out to give me some room. Remember, water, Windex. Windex is going to evaporate a little bit quicker, but try to do the green head here. And you can actually, this is straight out of the pack, and it's got a really good edge on it. Actually, this one, I've been using it as my practice head, and I swear it feels like through the foam it's been stropped. But you can run a KME on these guys, and what I did to alter mine, if you got one of the older ones, all I did was drill a 1/4 hole farther up so I could get my incline more, because these green heads do have a stouter bevel on them. So you can alter an old KME, or you can just do what I'm going to do here. Put a little bit of Windex on there. And guys, I already have this head Sharpied up. So I just took green Sharpie, do your edge and see where you're hitting. These grinds are so straight, guys. I'm just more worried about the very edge, but I'm going to do my best to hold it. Just freehand here. So stones are wet. And I'm going to do kind of like that Omega yesterday. But all I'm going to do, I talk about home a lot. And I'm not holding on the blade here. I'm just giving it a rock. If I was flat, I'm just rocking it down. And I'm going to do the same motion as the Omega yesterday. So just give it a roll. And you can actually see that green coming off. And I'm on my coarse side again. Guys, I really like aggressive burr. And if you see yourself just hitting the edges because of your pressure, now just got a little bit of green, and I'll try to, but just a little bitty strip right here. Hopefully you can see it on that 4K. But again, just give it a roll home. So maybe that was about 7. And there was just a little bit left. But I'm not even worried about it, guys. Super simple, right out of the pack. Again, I just did a roll. Remember, I talk about an indicator dot, and I tell you to do it, but I don't even do it. But just know where, so you're not getting mixed up. I know this one doesn't have Sharpie on, or still has Sharpie on it. So pretty obvious on there, but I do like that indicator dot. So again, just give it a tip. And I'm just using a broadhead handle. You can use a piece of old shaft. Again, calculated, even strokes. And I like at course, guys, I like to get right to work, but I'm using light pressure. Now you can use your KME on this, guys, and the other guide systems. See right here again, just in that, got a little bit of green still on there, just a tad. And when that goes, I'm going to call it good enough. And I already know that's put on there. It's got a bunch of bite. I can feel that burr. I wish I could get you better photos, but I just got that burr on the flat, the non-cut side now. Now, just like the Omega, I'm not going to try to drag the ferrule as much as like the Omega, because the Omega is actually built in. Just real light, and I'm still on courses. Now I can turn it over and go to my fines, but I'm telling you right now, guys, that is so grabby. You don't want to mess with that. And honestly, if you want to knock that burr off, go to your strop. So, strop wise, just a little bit of aluminum oxide compound on there. I'm going to dry this head off, get some of that Windex off there. And I do have an indicator dot left. So now on the stropping end, all I'm going to do is go, I was going this way on the stone, pushing it or pulling it to me, and then pulling it back to break the burr off the non-cut side. And you can see, and probably not with my camera set up and my lighting, but just a little micro bevel I put on that guy. So now I'm just going to be stropping, but I'm going to be pushing forward. And I'm just pushing that burr to the flat. Just again, feel it, find home. So I'm just from neutral and can it down a little bit to follow that bevel. So if I do about 5 there, I'll flip it over and just do that again. And you can see that material working into that strop. So just like on the stone, I'm just going to hold it. And I do like to have a little bit of arrow shaft. And not too hard, guys. And in all honesty, use 2 fingers to keep that pressure even. So I did about 4 there. But guys, that's a crazy, wicked edge. I really like the grinds on these American-made broadheads. I like the green head, super simple. And if you want to, you can modify that tip a little bit. I did on a couple of them for last year's trip, but I really don't think it needs to. That flat point cuts amazing, guys. The entry, and it's just a stout little thick head. Really good for heavy skin game. I mean, light skin game too, but really shines in thick skin game. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move over to another option on the green head right out of the pack from VPA. And remember, big rods 22 degrees, prep, start step, finish and maintain over here. My aluminum oxide has a little bit more grab, so I'm going to go right to those on here. And again, I talk about ergonomics. Hands on the back of the sharpener like the heel if I had just a regular standard Steamboat Ultimate. But this pretty much holds its weight. This unit weighs about 7 pounds. So another option you can do is what I like to do on my single bevels is just get on my sticks. All right, now all I'm using is that broadhead holder. I'm kind of holding it like this, and I'm holding down by the barb. Not on the cut, but it's going to be my guide. So I'm using that thumb. And these have a stouter bevel. So about right there is flat. So it's actually not standing up. It's a little bit this way. But all I'm going to do is hold onto that rod, use that thumb as a guide. And this is a shorter head, so I don't have as much range on my rods. But something like that, about 6, And just do it again on the other side. Right, and I could actually hear that burr fall off there. Now all I'm going to do is take it flat on the inside stick, and all I'm doing is breaking that burr, recreating that micro bevel like we got on the stone, and just touching it up. But guys, that is a wicked edge. I'm sorry I don't have microscopes and all the fancy stuff, but right out of the pack, a little bit of dressing up. You can do it with your stone. You can strop afterwards. And I really like using the sticks, but you can maintain really well, especially on a trip with just a set of sticks. So, appreciate it, guys. Check us out. I was sharpening on the solo station. You can find that at Steamboat Super Sharpeners. And appreciate the VPA broadheads. And we'll be doing 2 more sets of heads coming up. Thank you.